Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Friday. It is training day. Seeking approval training is at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. If you can't make it, I understand it's Friday. So come to Spotify or Entrepreneur or any platform. It's featured on Spotify. It has a playlist. All of my trainings are there. If you want the exercises, guides, my books for free, just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. We'll get Team David Meltzer to pin that up there, david@dmeltzer.com. Or the text community you can join is 949-298-2905. Let's get the questions in here, team. Josh York, what's up, brother? I have not seen you forever. I bet you're killing it with your virtual workouts. David Hartley Jr., good to have you in here as well. Let's get some questions rolling. Joshie, man, you should go live with me sometime. Reach out to my team. Let's go live next week. I'd love to see you. Joshie York, welcome. Here we go. Team David Meltzer decides to join with a large at dmeltzer.com. 949-298-29. Oh, I accidentally did that. See, I gave you crap, and there we go. Why don't we pin the comment below? All right, David at dmeltzer.com is now pinned. My text community is now pinned. 949-298. All right, the questions are coming in. Here we go. What's the best investment you've ever made? Besides myself, my beach house. By far, it has brings so much joy, and it's just a great decision, and just so pleased. Anyway, mind elaborating on your understanding of Dame or lesser vibrations. So for me, everything vibrates. The earth vibrates the slowest, then plants, then animals, then humans, then sound, then light, and then thought. And the thought that vibrates is the fastest is truth. The thing is we cannot be aware of that which vibrates equal to, we only can be aware of that which vibrates equal to or less than ourselves. So what I focus in on is investing in myself and raising my vibration so I can be aware of all types of great things, like who to hang around, who not to seek approval from, who and what to do, when to buy, when to sell. All these things are a matter of awareness, nothing else. Let the law of gravity utilize the law of Goya, getting off your ass, that will allow the law of attraction to work in your favor, right? The law of attraction is always on, but without gravity and without the law of gravity and the law of Goya, it's never going to get to you. The law of gravity and the law of Goya allows the law of attraction to aim it at you, what you want, because everything and everyone already exists, and you use the law of gravity to attract to you by the law of Goya and the law of attraction what you want rapidly and accurately. Parental advice. How do you give attention to all four kids? Latest best joke I've heard is someone asked, what's it like to have four kids? And they said, imagine you're drowning with three of your kids in your arms and someone throws you a fourth. I forgot the question about four kids. Where does it say? Parental advice. How do you give attention to all four kids? I do it minimum every day. So I know that 2 minutes a day is worth more than 2 hours on a Saturday. And that 2 minutes has to be uninterrupted time. So I give a minimum amount of time to my son, who's 10. He gets a minimum of 30 minutes a day, 7 days a week of uninterrupted focus on him. Minimum. I go way over a lot of days, but that's minimum every single day without missing one day. 3 teenage daughters, they get a minimum of 2 minutes a day. If it sounds rude, it's not. I asked for 5. It's on their side, not mine. I would give them as much minimum time as they would allow me to have. But 21, 19, and 16-year-old, especially girls, have their own lives, and hanging out with a 52-year-old middle-aged mutant turtle called Dad does not sound fun to them for very long. But every day I get that exponential relativity. I get that exponential bond. I get that exponential compound interest of knowing that they're happy, knowing that they're healthy, knowing that I appreciate them, and knowing that I love them. You got it? Those 4 things are critical in those relationships with your kids. How can we be of service for you this weekend? Thank you. Well, not only share my content, Send people to Spotify to watch all the replays. Have them get my books, guides, and exercises for free. But most importantly, do good deeds, man. Be kind to your future self. Do good deeds this weekend. Put back the grocery cart. Go ahead, pick up trash if you see it. Smile, wave if you got a mask on. Make people feel good. It's a virus. Spread it. It'll strengthen everybody's immune system. It'll work with us. Thank you. Yes, great podcast with Andy AF. That's right, the real AF, Andy Frisella. Check it out if you haven't. It's featured on Spotify, featured on Entrepreneur, on all the platforms. All right, we're ready to go. Shanung Tang, Tea Drunk was here. I'm sitting around. Let me get my man. Where are we at? He's here. Everybody says he's here, but I can't find him. All right, let me find him. Yeah, it's not in my list. So there he is. Tea Drunk is here. Now because I went back, it's not. There we go. All right. I'll figure out this Instagram sooner or later. My friend Shanun Tang at Tea Drunk, the founder of Tea Drunk, New York City-based tea house, popular.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Thank you so much for joining me.
Well, thank you for having me. Feeling the good already.
It's so nice. You know, too many people don't know the power of tea. And I wanted to have you on. I'm a huge tea fan. I think there is not only great energy in tea, but healing. And yes, I think it's it's like chicken soup for the Jews. That tea is a healing source that can cure so many things. What are the main values of drinking tea, from this temperature of the tea to the types of tea? Please explain to us the value of tea and why it's so important.
Yes, of course. So tea definitely is a very healthy beverage. So it's especially proven to be very healthy for a lot of people with metabolism diseases. So like diabetes, obesity, things like that. And tea also has theanine. So theanine is a little bit topical in the health world right now. So it's this natural compound in tea. It's amino acid that it helps to condition your it's very good for your neurological health. So in Japan, people actually sell it as a natural antidepressant pill. If people with like a mild sleeping issue, you can actually also take some theanine pills, and it's a very mild way to just kind of calm you down and help you to sleep naturally. But a lot of people are also taking tea because the cultural and the spiritual value of tea as well. So tea has a very long history. It's a beverage that's similar to wine that really connects us to a place. So good tea gives us the sense of terroir. And so by drinking tea, it takes us to what the land has to offer. People get very geeky about the slope of the location, the biodiversity, the direction the sun hits, the age of the plant, everything. And also because tea tree can live for a really long time. Some of the tea trees, oldest tea tree we know, are hundreds of years old. So there are also folks who drink the tea, and it takes them to this almost like a life, like time traveling journey. Thinking about that some folks, 100 years ago were drinking the tea that's harvested from the same trees, and sharing that connection, and knowing that the land is more ancient than any of us.
It's so interesting. If, we pass by you on the street, most people wouldn't realize that not only do you have this fantastic experience at Tea Drunk, where you can not only consume tea and understand, but you can learn so much. There's a great knowledge that as you come to your popular destination there in New York. But what's so interesting to me is you and I parallel each other's careers, that we lived our career with a different purpose. And then with the onset of what I call amplification of social media, that we've just taken what we've been doing for years and we capture it and we put it online. And, one of your, just your TED Talk has 4 million views. 4 million people, it would have taken you a lifetime to get 4 million people to swing by Tea Drunk, the shop in New York. And here every day, thousands and thousands of people are learning not only about tea, experiencing what you do, but also elevating your personal brand. How important now is your personal brand on top of obviously drunk tea?
Yes, so I would say now people mostly associating my name, Shunan Peng, with the name Tea Drunk. Even though that was not my initial intent. All in all, I was considering myself a very private person, and then at times can be, stay shy. But but at the core of Tea Drunk, like education is a big part. So because of that, I had to put myself out there, and the TED Ed video helped a lot as well. And also during the pandemic, we are forced to taking a lot of our activities online. So it was a little bit personal growth moment as well. So people are being so supportive. So I feel like I didn't have to be so worried about putting myself out there and then just like sharing tea and the wisdom of tea with everyone. So right now, yes, it's quite a neat, tight connection.
It's great connection. And then you've also had to adjust your business because of COVID, obviously, and
Yes.
having that brand of Tea Drunk and your own personal TED Talk, which drives awareness to what you do. Are there now online Tea Drunk types of opportunities that weren't available before COVID?
Yes, so we have put out a tea crash course. It's a 10-day course. I mean, obviously you can do it at your own time, but we recommend that people commit for 10 days to learn about the brewing and tasting of the tea. And then we actually have videos on Instagram. It's about 40 minutes to an hour where we dig very deep into a tea at a time. So that's been very popular, and that's something that we didn't have during before the pandemic. Now holiday season is coming up. So I think tea is a great gift option. It warms people's stomach, right? It warms your soul. It speaks of care. And so we have put together like a gift guide on our website as well. We are definitely developing a greater online presence than prior to the pandemic, for sure.
Well, what's great about the gift sets in the holidays too is that, more than what we're giving, it's the mindfulness and the thoughtfulness behind the gift. And
Yes.
tea has that expression of mindfulness and thoughtfulness of knowing someone's personality, seeing and trying to suit, just like we might buy a sweater that fits perfectly. The sweater may be ugly, but if it fits perfectly, our heart is and our soul is so touched that someone cared that much. And so I would highly recommend tea as one of those vehicles of giving that can show the mindset and heart set and the thoughtfulness of appreciation for what other people that are relative or close to you in your life. As everything kind of explodes and changes in an accelerated manner, especially over the last 7 months, you obviously I study history myself, and tea is something I've watched your TED Talk. But the history itself is so important because it, to me, educates me on human nature.
Yes.
And the history of tea, to me, was a great lesson in human nature. Would you mind sharing with us one or two lessons that you've learned about human nature from studying tea and being so knowledgeable about tea?
Of course. I mean, throughout the long history of tea, Chinese people have developed philosophy just around tea, you can say. So a couple of things I have observed of tea. One is that some of the best teas in the world, they grow in the harsher environment than the plantation or the commercial teas. These teas grow in locations that have very steep mountainside, receives very little sunlight, and it's very cold. So the tea has to struggle to grow. And now with science, we know that when a plant has to struggle to grow, that it's necessary for it to have a more complicated metabolism and therefore give us more complicated compounds that give us the complexity that makes a good tea. But the bigger lesson here is it's just like people, right? So sometimes life throws you some more challenges, but it's kind of necessary to develop a more complicated and a more dynamic person. So for tea, has been a lesson that even from the past to now that we have learned from tea that the harder the environment for tea to grow, the better the tea is. And I think that's very much for people as well. And another thing about tea is the importance of in the flavor, that it has complexity and balance. So I think, that's also for a good life. We want a fulfilled life. We do not want a life that's simple to the point that it's boring. But at the same time, while we are having all these different adventures in life and everything, but we want a balance, right? So that's another thing I have learned when I was studying, the flavor notes in tea, the quality, like what makes a good tea is exactly what makes a good life. And the last thing is actually the best teas comes from the heirloom cultivars. So these are the cultivars that is being, it was not planted by this generation, but generations before us. And back in the days, let's just say people have a more natural approach in planting things. So these heirloom cultivars, every single one of the tea trees is different, just like the heirloom tomatoes that you buy from the stores. And this is the kind of tea trees that give us the best tea. It's much better than the clones that we typically have nowadays in the world of the tea. So this really made me think. And I just feel like nature prefers diversity. So the reason why heirloom tea trees just always taste better than the modern day clone tea trees is because the clone tea trees doesn't have the heart and soul that tea have. If you are Chinese and believe that tea has a soul, then this obviously is, preaching to the choir. But I would like to just kind of take a moment to just almost like believe that nature just actually prefers diversity. And this is why heirloom tea trees give us the best teas.
Amazing information. I love, I've been working with struggle, and I define struggle as the process of seeking the light, the love, and the lessons. And I am so admiring the fact that you find the light, the love, and the lessons in the soul of tea. And I think there's soul in everything, soul in business, soul in humans, soul in teas and trees, that we're all connected. Therefore, that is the soul. And you do a great job of educating and inspiring people through something that has been through history, integral in how societies live and how they portray themselves as it has moved its way from the East to the West. I certainly appreciate everything that you do. Thank you so much. Please keep up the great work and come back and visit me, okay?
All right. Thank you so much, David.
Thank you. Unbelievable. Check out Tea Drunk. It's at Tea Drunk, an amazing, amazing place. Online as well. The TED Talk, we'll put the link up there for Shannon Tang. The Soul of Tea. Well, we have our next guest as well. Everybody, let's see if my friend Jamie is here. Let me see. What am I looking for? There she is. All righty. Thank you, everyone. Suffering is defined as finding the light, the love, and the lessons. The process of finding the light, the love, and the lessons. And there she is. How are you?
Hi, David. How are you doing?
I'm so excited about your event.
Oh,
That's
next
how
week.
I'm feeling.
Yes, me too. I'm so excited to do something together.
I know it's going to be amazing. It's going to be a revolution. And what I love about you, Jamie, and the Revolution Financial Management is the belief and mission that we have, which is to make a lot of money, to help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun. And I think a lot of people ask me, Dave, why do you put money first? And I think it's this paradigm of giving that people don't understand.
Yeah.
My mom is a classic example, who I adore. I barely can talk about her without crying. But I learned so many lessons about giving to receive. And if that's your values, if you take inventory of your values and that's what you want is to give, look, I get it. But if you really want to impact people, money is the currency that exists here. It's an object of energy. And if we shop for the right things, money can be super powerful, and we have to receive it in order to give more.
Right.
And it's just a reality of my life. I was wondering how you reconcile giving and receiving in what you do in managing finances and working with people's money all the time.
Absolutely. Yeah. I've been in the financial industry for 21 years now, and myself.
So you started when you were 9?
Yeah. exactly. I did.
I
But
hate I hate to say this, but I hate people like you. It's like I sit here and she's like 21 years. I'm like, come on, I look like her grandpa. All right.
yeah. Well, I learned the law of attraction. I'm like, well, this will work if I just say I'm stopping aging at 32. And so far,
Yes.
so good. No,
Great
but
job.
I grew up very poor. I grew up in the very tip northeastern corner of Montana in a town of like 225 people on welfare, on WIC, and those types of things. And I knew growing up I did not want to be poor. And I watched my family argue about which bill can we pay? Can we even have heat in the winter? And how are we going to feed the kids? And I'm the oldest of 6 kids, and so I felt a lot of responsibility. And so when I started my business, it was to be able to become wealthy, to be able to show my family and my younger siblings, it doesn't matter where you came from, it just matters where you want to go. And so so money was an important thing, because, and I love that, what you're doing, and you're teaching happiness and you're teaching leadership. But I think that if someone's going to really make a big difference, they need 2 things. They need leadership skills and they need money. And so, we grew a great business over the last 21 years, but my favorite thing to teach and to mentor on is not just, yes, have the big hot cars and big houses and all these things that you want, these fun, dreams, but also be able to be happy, be able to put your family first and your faith first, and those things. But one of the keys to happiness, I think, is contribution. I know it's my biggest key. And so, yeah, we've been able to live our dreams and, all these things, but we've been able to give over 7 figures to some of our favorite charities, Operation Underground Railroad, All for One Foundation, just these fun places that that we love and enjoy giving. And I think that when I'm trying to mentor people, it's also planting seeds of philanthropy, because that will bring so much more joy and happiness into their lives. And you can't really do a whole lot of change. You can with the voice, but with money, you can definitely do a lot more.
Money can shop for a bunch of voices as well. And you've built,
Right.
3,600 employees in 30 countries, 100 offices, and that takes time as well, and patience. But it has an impatience that allows that law of attraction and the law of gravity to take place. And the law of impatience is the law of Goya. It took a lot of hard work getting off your ass and making it happen, and a lot of people laughing at you, making fun of you, scoffing at you. Well, November 18th, which is my business partner, Warren Moon, that's his birthday. So he'll be
Nice.
63, I think. I hate to call him out. He'll probably kill me now. But more importantly, we're doing National Entrepreneurs Day. And, another great creation of yours to empower the world. I call them the world changers, because I think entrepreneurs are the ones that change the world.
Absolutely.
Everybody else can execute and effectuate what entrepreneurs have done with all the different institutions that are involved afterwards. What was your inspiration of creating National Entrepreneur Day?
Well, I know it is National Entrepreneur Day on November 19th. And it's actually November's National Entrepreneur Month. And I just, like you said, I think that the entrepreneurs are the ones that can change the world, and that they can really create more opportunities for so many people to live their dreams. And so it being National Entrepreneurs Month, I thought it'd be great to have an event, especially with someone like you, that can give some tips to people that maybe want to start their own business. Maybe they're sick and tired of having a boss, or they just don't feel secure anymore after this whole pandemic. They want more security. They're tired of having a boss or being at the mercy of the economy, and they don't want that ever again. So maybe someone that's wanting to get into, becoming an entrepreneur, or just those entrepreneurs that want to take it to a new level. So we'll be introducing, our platform and kind of what we do, but also just for any entrepreneurs out there that want to improve or maybe get to a whole new level.
Yeah, I'm preparing 5 daily practices for entrepreneurs that I know will empower them not only to be successful, to make money, help people, and have fun, but empower more people like you have with 100 offices over the entire world, with all the countries. And I think that empowerment piece is so important, especially as a woman entrepreneur and a leader, that we are, can't lose sight of the challenges that still exist, but that you must have faced, not only being poor, but a woman, and in a very male-dominated business industry.
Sure.
So persistence is what just drips from you, which is why I was so excited to participate in the event. Where can people sign up for the event, times, etc.?
You know what? I can put in the link. Darn, I don't think I got the link to Jake, but I
Jake
can
will
send
put
a
it
link
up.
out to you, and maybe Jake could send it out. But yeah,
Yeah.
all are welcome to attend. It's going to be on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, and I believe we're going to replay it for the East Coast people on Thursday, just because it's a little late for the East Coast guys. So we'll replay it again on Thursday, which is actually National Entrepreneurs Day.
Well, you know, everything's closing at 10 o'clock back east anyway, so we'll probably catch the crowds. They'll be up to watch us live, that's for sure. And you
Awesome.
can email me, david@dmeltzer.com. I'll personally send you the link as well. I am so excited to be involved in the event. I'm so excited about what you've done, but more involved and more excited about what I know you're going to do in the future. I was a little disappointed because you're older than I thought. I thought you had at least 100 more years to keep working on.
We'll see.
So whatever you're doing right. Thank you for so much that you do. Any last piece of advice, any message you want to share with us?
Honestly, you know, like I said, if you are an entrepreneur or if you're not, you know, I mean, I think that going after what you want right now is so important. I know that so many people have been shut down because of COVID. They're, you know, the quarantine plus all these social issues. There's been a lot of just unhappiness. They said that I just was reading recently that we are, in the last 50 years, have never been this unhappy. And there's record divorce, and there's, you know, suicide, and especially the teenagers' unhappiness. And, you know, I just think that right now is a great time to be working on your personal wellness, as well as your business, and to be really just going after the things that you really want. And so I think if right now we're focused on not really where we're at, but where we want to go, where we want to be, what we want for our kids, what we want for our parents, what we want for our own happiness, and just start to gravitate towards that. Write it down, maybe put pictures up, read it every day of just this dream life you want. And I remember doing that, like my ideal life. And over the last 20 years, I've had tons of different business plans and goals and action plans and big dreams and these things. But this ideal life, this handwritten little piece of paper that I did so many years ago, always gets attached to the back of that business plan or that, you know, those goals. And I read it every day. And it was interesting about, I don't know, a few years ago when I bought this home, one of my guys was reading an old business plan from like 15 years ago. He said, Jamie, that pool, that water slide, that, you know, that dirt bike, you know, course, all these things, like this is in this business plan from like 10, 15 years ago. And I said, of course. He said, did you ever imagine that you'd have what you have today? And I said, well, yeah, I imagined
That's the
it.
first step.
Yeah, I imagined it. And I, you know, I just really put in the picture what I wanted to do when I retired my parents, and what I wanted to do when I, you know, for my children, and the opportunities that I wanted to create for them, and the things that I wanted to do with this philanthropy, and, you know, the person I wanted to become. And so I guess that last piece of advice is there's two of you. There's the guy or gal that is, and the guy or gal that is to be, that could be, that's supposed to be, that you're intended to be. So just be real clear, get real clear on, you know, who she is or who he is, you know, and what you want to do. And again, it's going to be, you're going to be a different communicator at that point. You're going to be a different, you know, the way you think, the skill set that you have. So don't be having any limited beliefs of who you are now and what's happening to you now. All of these things, we all know this, but we all know all these things that are happening to us. The adversity is for our own good. It's a gift right now. And if we can look at it and say, you know, all these adversities we can grow from, well, think about all the adversity we've had the last 9 months and all the great things that are coming, that are in store in the next few years. So if, and only if we, you know, really look for it and start to create it. So anyways, thank you, David, so much for having me on today. And I really look forward to next week.
Me too. And Jamie, I love the fact that you choose what you want and then work towards it. It's that simple. We choose by writing it down, speaking it, thinking about it, believing it, getting clear, balanced, and focused on what we want. You choose that. When you choose it and you work towards it, it is right behind you. I see that water slide, so I know it's true. So thank you so much. I'll see you on November 18th. Make sure we posted the link up there for our National Entrepreneur event. Please join Jamie and I. Email me, david@dmeltzer.com, if you need any information directly. Where can people reach directly to you as well?
You can go to my Instagram at jamie.villalobos. That'd probably be the best way. And I'm posting stuff for entrepreneurs, especially females and leaders, daily. So thanks, David.
You're awesome. I look forward to seeing you. Thank you for everything you do.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thanks,
Talk to you
Jane.
soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Wow. How awesome is she? I told you. We are 2 for 2. Now we get to bring on Mrs. Awesome herself. My girl Cheryl, where are you at? Lindsay, are you here? Let me take a quick question. Is Lindsay here, Jakey Bakes? Let me just check. Lindsay McCormick, my young superstar, been a judge on Elevator Pitch, has been on ESPN. She has a great podcast. She's a dear friend, unbelievable energy. Let me go ahead and take a question while we wait for Lindsay. And my friend Samuel, how do you stop thinking that your job defines you? Think beyond your job. Think through your job. Think about your job as capability. Think of your job as skills that you have, knowledge that you want, knowledge that you have, knowledge that you need, knowledge of who and what. Looking at that. Sorry, I was just informed as my other Lindsay McCormick. Is she here? I thought it was my Lindsay McCormick. It's at Byte, Lindsay, the CEO of Byte. I apologize, Lindsay. Is she here, though, Blaine? That's a better question to answer. Anyway, let me take another question. Here we go. If you could be any celebrity, past or present, who would you be? Einstein? That sounds good to me. The original, I would be Einstein. So if not, maybe there she is. The other Lindsay McCormick at Byte. Here we will go live with Lindsay McCormick, the CEO and founder of Byte, to promote that company. And there's you got to know you have a toothpaste girl when that smile just comes shining through. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, well, you know what? One of my closest people are Lindsay McCormick. So now I have two people I adore, Lindsay McCormick 1 and Lindsay McCormick 2. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, it's so interesting how frequencies work. And when I was doing a little bit of research about Byte, I started thinking about what I teach people about being very clear, balanced, focused, specific on a frequency of what you want to do. And you just reading down, and I'll let you describe Byte and all the nuances of the toothpaste and what you do. Look how narrow Lindsay's business is, but yet in a field of 4.4 billion people who all should be brushing their teeth, the market is an incredible size. What's really funny, I'm going to let you answer that question, by the way, but what's really interesting for me is if I lived in Knox, Indiana, and it has a population of like 200,000 people, and I told people, hey, I'm going to start a law office right across the street from the courthouse, everyone in Knox would say, oh my gosh, David, that's a great idea, right? What a great idea. But when you come up with, healthy vegan, but, toothpaste that does this, and you put your store on, 4.4 billion people, and everybody should be brushing their teeth around the world, all of a sudden they laugh at you, make fun of you, and scoff at you. I just don't get the math. And it's all to me about understanding frequency and fear. And so I want to know, one, what is your specific frequency? Let people know. And then how do you deal with the fear as a young woman entrepreneur with everybody saying, are you kidding me?
Great questions all around. And I think there are so many different things that play into this. I think the first, point would be having something that you believe in so much that the fear kind of just melts away. So for me, I've always been really passionate about the environment. I'm a longtime vegan. I've always, been living a cruelty-free lifestyle with my cosmetics and personal care. So starting a toothpaste tablet company, it was bizarre and it was weird. And I was like, yes, this is a strange thing, but it's something that it's my little way to make a difference and something that I've, gotten interested in and that I'm going to do. So no matter what kind of, skepticism I was faced, it didn't matter to me if I had a multi-million-dollar business or if I was forever running inside of my living room. It was just something we're all here in our living rooms, right? Now,
I'm in the closet, so I'm worse.
That's where I do podcasts.
It's true.
There's
the clothes right there. I'm proving it to everyone.
Love it. It's the best sound. It's the best sound. It really is.
Beautiful.
And it's just, I was going to do it no matter what. And so there really wasn't a a thing of fear. It was more for me drive. And I think for that, it comes into, I truly believe that every single person is incredibly powerful, and we all can make big changes just by our everyday routines. So getting into something like toothpaste, which is super random and very niche, especially zero waste tablet toothpaste, it was just a symbol to me that like, this is something that I can do every day that's, you know, bettering the world, or something that I believe in alignment with my values. And when you start doing that one thing, you see all of the other things that, you know, you could be doing or would want to be doing, that you can then make changes as well.
And then on the other side of no, I have a saying that we're made by the people that we say no to. And you're on Shark Tank.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to know, you know, I have a new TV show. I have Elevator Pitch, which is a similar kind of Shark Tank with Soul program where you come out of an elevator and 4 judges fund you. But I created a new show on Bloomberg that's launching in January called 2-Minute Drill. And it's only the pitch. And the reason I did that was people like you that I've watched on Shark Tank, that it seemed to me that you realize that, you know what, this is a TV show. Funding probably isn't really teaching people how to get funded, isn't what the TV show. It's very entertaining. I love Shark Tank. I learn lessons, but I want to teach people about the pitch. Why did you say no to Mark Cuban, and what did you learn from being on Shark Tank?
So we learned a lot being on Shark Tank. So first, like even from the preparation, like having to go through every like part of your business, you know, we have not raised, you know, we had not gone through the pitch process. So going through every little part of this, why would they not? And going through that and then trying to put that all together in like a 2-minute pitch is so, you have so many things to say. So that alone was a huge learning curve. And I would recommend anybody who has a business, whether you're operating out of a living room or you have a multi-million-dollar business, think about if you were going to be going on Shark Tank or a show like yours, 2-minute, what would you say? You know, and how would you do it? Because it's a really good exercise in figuring out like, what are my strong points and what's the selling points and what do people care about? And how do I say that in a concise way? So that was something that was just like a really helpful thing to do in general. And then the reason we said no was we came in there with what we felt was very fair. And now looking back at, you know, it was a year ago, it was more than fair. And I didn't go in to negotiate. I went in with what I felt it was fair. I wanted to start a partnership, and I felt like this is what we were bringing to the table, and that's what we stayed at. And I know, you know, looking back, I was like, man, everyone goes into Shark Tank to negotiate. So we probably should have thought about that. But I went in like, as like, this is the beginning of a partnership, and this is where we're going to be at. So I didn't leave much room to negotiate. And that's basically what it came down to, the negotiation.
Yeah, well, you made a good choice, as you know, for what was offered to you compared to where you are today. We are made by the people we say no to. And I think the Sharks, knowing some of them as my friends, including Mark, they always respect someone that knows the value of their business. And in the end, you know, they were not going to bend, even if you had started at a higher price. The value itself is the truth. The truth vibrates the fastest, especially in business. And that's why you're having the success that you have. But the size, scope, and scale and purpose of your business is incredible. Where can people, besides at Bite, where can people order, find you, shop, and get in touch with you?
So bitetoothpastebits.com. I always have toothpaste by me. We make zero waste toothpaste tablets. It comes in a glass jar and then compostable refill pouches. So once you get this, it's the only glass jar that you need. It's a paper label, aluminum lid, no plastic at all. And our toothbrushes are 100% plastic free as well. And so we have actually a whole oral care kit now on our website, which was like a labor of love. It's this whole plastic-free thing is very new, and the technology is changing all the time. So I really pride ourselves, like we stay on the cutting edge of it. And so having our plastic-free bristles was a very big deal this year. And yeah, that's bitetoothpastebits.com.
You're amazing. Check it out at Bite as well. And look, you can combine compassionate capitalism. You can make money, help people, and have fun all at the same time. But you have to believe in yourself. And that's my favorite thing about you, Lindsay, is you can tell you believe in yourself and your product. You're not in love with it, but you believe in it. And there's a difference there. Thank you so much for joining me. And come back on and visit me.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, David. Have a great day.
Right. You too. Two great Lindsay McCormicks in my life. I hope she hears that shout out, my other Lindsay. Don't get jealous. I love you both. You guys are incredible, both of you. It must be in the name. So I'm gonna have to look up what that name means, Lindsay McCormick, because it is a strong, wonderful name with two strong, wonderful women that I know. Great to have you on. You can reach out to her about the refill program. All right, we are approximately 2 hours and 20 minutes from training. Seeking approval training is today, so join me. It's free. You can reach out, david@dmeltzer.com. You can text me at 949-298-2905 to join my community. Get a free book, exercises, guides. If you miss training, I know it's Friday. I've just been doing this for over 20 years on Friday. I'm not changing it. But what I do is show the replays now. It's the top downloaded podcast of the playbook, and it's a replay list, a playlist on featured Spotify entrepreneur on every platform. You can find it. You can reach out to me. I'll give it to you. But all the exercises, guides, and books are free. The training is free. All you got to do is pay attention to and give intention to the coincidences that you want in your life. Let's take one more question before we get to training. Just get warmed up. Me mostly. I find closing people is difficult. Any tip to improve? I am new to this industry. Well, I have a private sales group you can join that will help you in the long run close. But it's all about value, 120 rule value, being able to articulate with credibility and get emotional attachment like Lindsay immediately. There's this emotional attachment. Quantify the reasons why you're selling something. The impact needs to be illustrated quantitatively and with firm analysis, as well as displaying the quantified capabilities. Not a Barney sale, right? We're not purple dinosaurs overselling, back-end selling, manipulating, lying, and cheating. I love you. You love me. Nobody makes any money. No, get down to the brass tacks of business. Get to the math, to the technology, get to the quantified value, and make sure that you're giving more value than you're asking for. That's the golden rule of sales. Can you see any reason you won't want to move forward? I'll give you $100. Give me 20 back. Can you see any reason that you won't want to move forward? First person to send me $20, I will send you 100 back. How about that? I've never done that one before. And every other $20 that I receive will go to the Unstoppable Foundation, which I'm the chairman of. But anyway, just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Exercises, books, all for free. 120 rules coming your way. Please, everybody, if you haven't tried out, last chance. We're picking the finalists right now. 2-minute drill is going to be on Bloomberg, on Amazon. It launches in January. We film in December. You're going to love it. 2 minutes to pitch. You get my feedback, guest judges, tips of the day, all types of great companies and the CEOs involved and contestants. Remember, everybody, be kind to your future self. Do good deeds. I will see you in 3 hours and 18 minutes. David@dmeltzer.com. 949-298-29.